the worst punishment you got as a kid? I was 12 years old, in 6th grade at Roosevelt Middle School, and I had the biggest solo of my life coming up. The spring choir concert was the next evening, and I'd been practicing for weeks. My part was in the second movement of some classical piece I can't even remember the name of anymore, but at the time it felt like the most important thing in the world. I came home from school that Tuesday afternoon with a permission slip in my backpack. It was for a meeting with the guidance counselor, Mrs. Peterson, scheduled for the next day. Standard stuff about transitioning to junior high, what to expect, course selection, that kind of thing. Every 6th grader was getting one. My mom, Karen, was in the kitchen making dinner when I walked in. I pulled the paper out of my folder and said something like, "Hey mom, I have to see the counselor tomorrow about junior high stuff." I don't know exactly what she heard. Maybe she thought I said the counselor wanted to see her. Maybe she thought I was in trouble. Maybe she was already having a bad day and was looking for a reason to explode. I'll never know because she never gave me a chance to explain. Her face changed instantly. That look I'd learned to recognize. The one that meant I was about to have a very bad time. She snatched the paper out of my hand and started screaming about how I must have done something terrible if the school was calling her in. I tried to tell her that wasn't what it was, that it was for me, but she wasn't listening. She went to the coat closet and pulled out one of those thin plastic belts that were everywhere in the 90s, white with little gold accents. I'd seen her wear it with her church clothes. It looked harmless. It wasn't. She beat me everywhere. Started at my head, my shoulders, down my back, my legs, all the way to my feet. I was crying and trying to curl up and protect myself, but she just kept going. The plastic left welts that rose up immediately, angry red marks that would turn purple by the next day. When she was done, she told me to go to my room and think about what I'd done. I didn't even know what I'd supposedly done. I laid on my bed crying, my whole body burning. About an hour later, she called me down for dinner like nothing had happened. We ate spaghetti in silence. Then she told me I still had to go to the concert tomorrow, and I better not embarrass her. The next day at school, I could barely sit down. Every movement hurt. I was wearing long sleeves even though it was May, and probably 75 degrees outside. My choir teacher, Mr. Davidson, asked if I was okay during practice, and I just nodded. The concert was at 7 that evening. I had to change into our choir uniform, black pants, and a white button-up shirt. Getting dressed was agony. Some of the welts on my back had started bleeding where my clothes rubbed against them. Before the concert started, I told Mr. Davidson I needed to run to my classroom to get my homework. He said to make it quick. I practically ran down the empty hallway to Mrs. Chen's room. I grabbed my social studies textbook from my desk and found that permission slip still in my folder where I'd shoved it that morning. I stuck it inside the textbook. I sang my solo that night, hit every note, got a standing ovation, smiled and bowed while my entire body throbbed with pain. Mom was in the audience beaming like she was so proud of me. We got home around 9. I went straight to my room, pulled out that textbook, and brought the permission slip downstairs. I handed it to her without saying anything. She read it. I watched her face as she realized it was addressed to me, not her, that it was just a standard 6th grade transition meeting, that she'd beaten me bloody for absolutely nothing. "You need to be more clear when you talk to me," she said, and handed the paper back. That was it. No apology, no acknowledgement that she'd done anything wrong. Just blame shifted back onto me for her misunderstanding. I didn't say anything. I just went back to my room and cried myself to sleep. The welts took about 2 weeks to fully heal. I wore long sleeves every day even as the weather got warmer. Nobody at school asked about it. Nobody noticed. Or if they did, they didn't want to get involved. I'm 41 now. I haven't spoken to my mother in 7 years. The last real conversation we had before I cut contact was at a family barbecue. She'd had a few drinks and got sentimental. Started talking about how she wasn't a perfect mother, but she did her best. Then she looked at me and said, "You're never going to forgive me for that choir concert thing, are you?" I looked her straight in the eye and said, "Nope." She got quiet after that. Tried to laugh it off, said I was being dramatic, that it wasn't that bad, but she knew. She knew exactly what she'd done, and she knew I would never forget it. My own kids are 9 and 11 now. I've never laid a hand on them. Not once. When they bring home papers from school, I read them carefully before I react. When they try to tell me something and I don't understand, I ask them to explain again instead of assuming the worst. I break the cycle every single day by simply being better than she was. But I still can't listen to choral music without my shoulders tensing up. I still remember standing on that stage singing my heart out while my back bled into my white shirt. I still remember coming home with proof of her mistake and getting blamed for her violence. That's what I got for bringing home a permission slip. That's what I got for trying to communicate with my mother. A beating from head to toe and a lesson that nothing I did would ever be good enough. She wanted forgiveness. I gave her honesty instead. Nope, never.